All right, guys, welcome back
Yeah,
to another episode of Late Night Talks with Khani Campbell featuring Tony Ferreria. So today we have
yeah,
Tony
man.
on the podcast again, as usual. As you know, this podcast is going to be super interesting. I will try to make sure so we improve on every single podcast that we put out. So thank you guys for tuning in and welcome back. Tony, what's up, man? What's been happening?
Yo, bro, would I like to
Yeah,
start this off with
yeah,
something real, something that happened this evening to me.
yeah,
And
man. No problem, man.
I
Go ahead.
think, yeah, man. So, what happened
Mm-hmm.
was I started to think back. I mean, I did nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was nice. I'm under the influence a little bit, so naturally,
Yeah,
right?
wine. You
And
drinking wine
then,
tonight?
yeah, man, wine. Yeah,
Wine.
said
Okay, nice. What kind of
this is
wine?
a side. So this is I think this is an Italian wine. I don't even know
Okay.
how to pronounce this. Valposieja. I don't know if I
Valposieja.
pronounce it. Something like that, right?
Oh,
No
okay.
idea. Probably pronounced it
Yeah.
wrong. But there's this lady at the wine store, Kim. She helped me pick out a new wine every single week. So we have like
Yeah.
a little wine date. We just meet up. We try to decide on which wine to give me that day. And today she recommend this. Sometimes I
Okay. Yeah.
cheat and get like the same bottle twice
Yeah.
when it really good. But me try to like switch it up every now and then to keep the palate, diverse. But
Yeah.
back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
This evening, I was thinking about forgiveness.
Hmm.
And the reason why this is so important to me is because I feel like it really prevents us from moving forward and progressing as a whole. Because we're on this whole journey right now where we're trying to shed all the made up things in our head. We're trying to become our real true selves, right?
Yes.
And I feel like that requires a lot of unlearning of all the negative habits that we picked up. The
Hmm.
feelings that weren't necessary that we carry now, the weights. So I'm trying to shed all of that. And while I was talking to one of my friends, one of my brethren, them, and I realized I held a small grudge against him because of something
Mm.
in the past. It was like a project I was working on in school,
Yeah.
and actually it was a group of people, honestly, but he was on that group, and I hadn't let that go. I realized that because that project, I felt like it took away a lot from me,
Hmm.
especially that period of time, because it was after that one winter break, you know what I mean? And I planned to go back to school and really take
Yeah.
advantage
Yeah.
of the time, you understand? But it never allowed me to have the time to enjoy the last of that little nice period, you understand?
Yeah.
So it was significant to me that I lost the opportunity to make those memories during that time period. And I feel like I tied some rage to that. And I feel like the only way to move forward is to sort of let that go. And even though the person didn't ask for forgiveness, these people didn't ask for forgiveness, I have to forgive them from my end in order for me to move forward and progress as a person. What do you think about that?
Well, I can tell you that that's definitely not an easy task, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Agreed.
just like with everything, anything that was programmed into us already is kind of a bit difficult for us to remove from self, especially when it comes to forgiveness. Because what I've noticed with me and you is, especially with the younger, um, if you do something bad and you're not family, like we just
Mm-hmm.
hate you for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Facts.
um, and honestly, I guess there's still a few people that I could
Mm-hmm.
say in my heart I have conflict with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is what's crazy, is that you can forgive a person, but you don't have to be
Right.
associated with them anymore. So you can forgive a
Right.
person, but you don't have to be associated with them any longer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you did what you did, and you know what? It's in the past. I just move on, because
Right.
you have to expect people to be themselves. So if somebody reacted or somebody did something out of anger to you,
Mm-hmm.
right, that
Mm-hmm.
you did not appreciate, you have to understand that that was a reaction. That
Right.
wasn't a thought out thing. It was
Mm-hmm.
a reaction. So that means that it is implanted in their subconscious. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the type of person they are. They're going to do it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel like that is gonna affect you, then you literally have to move on. So you forgive them and you move on. So what you're doing is really good. Shedding that weight, not keeping
Yeah.
it on your mind, but at the same time, you still have to not put your hand back into the lion's mouth, because you're gonna get bitten
Mm-hmm.
again. So
Again, and
you
that's
again.
that's what I'm struggling with now. Because here's the thing: the issue at the time was, if I can get more specific with this, it was
Yes.
a team project, right? But I had planned my semester around said project,
Yes.
and nobody else did. So essentially, I had to sacrifice a lot of my time. I quit a job I was working, couldn't spend time with a girl I was seeing at the time. That went
Mm-hmm.
out the window. Everything around me was crumbling. And I remember even like one Valentine's Day, I couldn't even see the girl because I had to schedule this meeting
Wow.
to ensure work would follow the next week, and nobody else
Yes.
was even
Yes.
thinking about these things, and all this fell on me. And this, it had to be done because somebody was sacrificing their real life time, leaving their family so they could be with us to help us, and you have to
Yeah.
honor that
Yeah.
kind of sacrifice.
True.
And
True.
it's just that I was surrounded by children. I felt like I was surrounded by children. Nobody was acknowledging these very real things and realizing the sacrifices that were being made. And everybody just came up with excuses, and then you realize this was real life. It requires sacrifices. So all the sacrifice, I felt like, fell on me. And what happened was, what is really helping me is that I realize these people are children. Essentially, children, it's one of the most selfish existence. You think about
Yeah.
only yourself. You think about
Only
your
yourself. Yeah.
sadness, your happiness. You
Yep.
don't care about anybody else. You don't think outside of yourself. So it helps to really look back and think that, oh, these are just little children, obsessed with
Yes.
themselves, not thinking outside of themselves, not being aware. It's the awareness, right? And that definitely helps. It's just that a lot of something precious, I felt like in that time period, was lost to me, because life is about enjoying the journey, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like a part of my journey was robbed. But at the same time, with every con there's a pro, right? Because
Yeah.
now we're having this conversation, and I'm able to grow in this way because of that.
And you're able to
Okay,
discuss it as well.
exactly.
Discuss it as well. But
So if that never happened, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
that's true. But that time period was a bit crazy. But
Yeah.
you see the environment that you were in at the time. I guess you wouldn't understand it then because you were learning about it, and you have the wisdom now. But before, the environment that we were in, nobody else in that environment understood the magnitude of pressure that you were under to pull off
Oh, they
whatever you're
could
pulling
not.
off. They couldn't
could
understand
not.
because you are coming from another country. You're coming from a third world country. You're coming into opportunity that them born and come see. You
So,
understand?
and the next thing is, even as an international student, there are certain things that you have to get done, certain standards that you have to adhere to, or else
Yeah.
you lose the risk of falling into like bad status, then kind of. So
Yes. Yes.
even failing or slipping up was not an option for me. So I felt immense pressure, and on top of that, we're preparing for like rent, job, moves, real things, because we're out here doing this
Yeah.
thing. That is kind of just, you're looking out for yourself. You know what I mean? So everybody's just in la la land while you're there you're facing very, very real threats.
Very real problems every day, every single day. They literally have that knife at your throat every day. It's like, say, hey, listen, I can't afford to slip up. I have to be
Right.
perfect with this thing. These people that are here, they can afford to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the passport that they have facilitates them to travel to any country they feel like travel to.
Yeah.
Or most countries on the map. Alright,
Yeah.
but with that, Tony, make we just make a small pause right here, sir, and
Alright.
come right back. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so Tony, yeah man, so make a pick up where we
Yeah.
left off, my friend.
Mm.
Boy, yeah, sip that wine they do it.
Yeah, man. It nice, man. My feet
nice.
nice, man.
Hey, say
Yo, fuck.
for my
Yeah.
birthday, my girl buy
Yeah.
me 19 crimes. And
Oof.
bro. And I'm going over her house this weekend, and I'm gonna see her parents and stuff. And I feel like
Yeah.
I want to bring a bottle for her family as well.
Please.
Because
Yes, man. Most
my
definitely.
friend, I am telling you, bro, that 19 crimes, like, I just, the first time we had it up at your house was one of the sweetest
Yeah,
wine
man. Remember the
ever
19
taste.
grams, man.
It's such a good wine, bro. Like,
See, yeah, man. And they're not even
It's-
expensive. People think they have to spend enough money to enjoy a
Bro.
good wine. Not necessary. Yeah.
exactly. And you know what I love about 19 crimes is the fact, say, the wine is, you can drink it at any temperature, bro. Bro, you
Yeah.
enjoy off the shelf 19 crimes, bro. It's
Yeah.
just nice and refreshing, bro. I don't know. And when you put it,
Refreshing wine, them.
it refreshing, man. And when you put it in the fridge, oh, like you can taste that old
Yeah.
traditional wine making taste to
You
it.
say you can taste the craftsmanship,
Yeah, you can taste
the years,
you can
the
taste
centuries.
the Italians them foot. I squish out the
Yeah.
the grape them.
Yes, you might see a little piece of
You
toenail in
might
it.
see a little piece of fermented toenail in a 19 crime, my friend. I feel like that are the secret sauce, the funk
A secret
from the
sauce, that
foot.
man.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
the foot. Something about the fungi
yeah,
from
man.
the
Look at
foot
dead
of
skin.
Italians. Yes, breaks down the wine and stuff. I don't know, but
But I
something
think the
about
19 crimes still, I
yeah.
think that one there, I believe it Australian, I
Oh, it's
think so.
Australian.
Because
Oh,
I'm not sure, but it might be. It might be. I think because Australia was like I believe it was people from either the UK. I think it was the UK where the Australia was where they sent a bunch of criminals to go and live. So it's really just a land that has a wild, free living people. I
ah,
wonder if it
yeah.
really embodies that. I've never been. I wonder if it embodies that.
I
That would be
mean,
kind of
well,
interesting.
there we go. We have research for them.
Mm-hmm.
On 19 crimes. We'll go further
Yeah,
down the
man.
one. Let's go further down the wine rabbit hole, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
So,
Mm-hmm.
as I did tell you that I didn't want to stop drinking, like alcohol and stuff, but I'm not stop drinking the wine, my friend.
Bro,
Bro.
wine is class. Wine is
Oh my
history.
God! You know what?
Please,
Is
don't
it?
stop.
It is the only type of alcohol that I can drink as
Mm-hmm.
like somebody that's like workouts every day and thing, and
Mm-hmm.
still feel like it feels healthy because
Yeah.
you know what you're drinking. For example,
Mm-hmm.
if you buy a beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is in the beer? What is in a Heineken? What is in a Red Stripe? What is it? What did they add to it, my friend? You know
You know,
what's
say?
in a wine.
Je ne sais pas.
You don't
Yeah.
know exactly.
Yeah.
But when you have a wine, you know that's especially the type of wine it is. You know it's grapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's
Yeah.
some type of fruit, my friend.
Right.
You understand? And that's what I
Yeah.
love
Even the
about
way
it.
wine was discovered.
Yeah.
There's this theory that what happened was a bunch of ape people were dancing around one day, and then
Mm.
they found s- some grape,
Fermented fruit.
some fermented grape, right,
Mm.
in the bottom of this rock. In the sun was shining down on it, and they drank some, and then they drank some more and some more, and they realized it started to feel good. So they would come back and put more fruit and let it dry out and let it ferment. I don't know how true that theory is, but it's kind of cool to think about, because in a way it's nice to think that this was supposed to naturally happen. We were supposed to discover this and
Exactly.
enjoy it.
And you know what is crazy? I think I was watching even a documentary about in wild
Right.
Africa, and there are
Uh-huh.
some fruits that when they fall from the tree, like you have certain animals that would go and eat it, the monkeys and the elephants, right? But when the fruit fall on the ground for extended period of time, it gets fermented.
Yeah.
And when these animals would go and eat the fruit, they would experience the same drunkenness as a human being would. Yes.
They said
And
them get lit.
Yes, they get lit, so they experience it as well. So what you can say then is that this is a natural occurrence. Like it's something natural.
We're
You understand?
supposed to get drunk,
You're
bro.
supposed to get drunk. But as you know, you have to do everything in moderation, right? Because there's why is it that these things that are natural have this reaction to the body? Remember, so we come from the earth, and we are of the earth, right?
From the
So-
earth, correct.
That's why if it, for example, any type of psychedelics or anything that we take, or everything has to be natural. Some people, them
Right.
go and them take this pill and them feel no. I
Yeah.
don't. No, no, no. Everything has to be natural and done in
Natural.
moderation. You understand? You can smoke a little herb. You can take a little bit of mushroom. You can have a little bit of wine. That is
Yeah,
where
man.
it stops. You can't go nothing outside. Everything has to be natural, right?
Yep.
Because I feel like once it's natural, then your body will accept it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's not natural, then you're gonna
Yep.
reject it. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So yeah, man. I love the culture. I love the wine culture that we're developing among ourselves. I hope that we continue it and pass it on to our
Yep.
sons as well.
Pass it on.
Definitely,
Yes, man.
man. Definitely.
And if I can recommend a bottle for you to take to the family, most
Yes.
people are usually pretty receptive to Malbec. So find a glass of Malbec. It doesn't really matter the
Malbec.
brand. It's just
Alright.
the type of grape.
Yes.
It works. For most people, I feel like Malbec. If you can find Argentinian Malbec, perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the note, my friend. Thank you
Yep.
for the note. Thank you for the note, my friend. Hey, you know,
Yep. Yeah, man.
we always talk about the small details that add up to the whole big picture. You see, as a young man, the way how you present yourself to a woman or even her parents or people that are in your life or just people that you interact with overall, the way that you present yourself to them, the small details, they add up to the
Yeah.
big picture, and that
Yes,
is how
they do.
instantly you garner respect from people when you present yourself well, right? You instantly
Yep.
get a pass because why? If you think about what a model citizen would look like, or what a model young
Right.
man would look like or what a model young man would look like for my daughter, right? What a model young man would look like to run a company that is competent. You have to, once you put on that image that is true as well, it can't fake, because if it's fake, people are going to find out. You have to
Can't
make sure
fake.
it's true.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Easy to see. Me and you know easy to see.
Easy to say. Smell, man. It stink. It stink of fakeness. Oh my
Stink,
gosh.
man. It
Stink.
putrid, man.
A pungent, man. Tell you, my friend. So, yeah, so you have to make sure so that the image is true, the true to your word. I mean, I tell you, man, when you just work on making those smaller details come together, people, you instantly garner the respect from people when you interact with them. Instantly, bro. And I've experienced it so many times. So many times. And it just goes to show, when anytime you see that happening, it goes to show that you're doing something right. Whether one day you, like when you say you dress up and you dress nice, you go shopping at the mall and you wear your old money clothes. You understand? You get a different type of treatment as a customer than when you just go in a regular t-shirt and jeans. Right? So
yeah, man.
in order for us to constantly keep that respect going in the eyes of the public, or in the eyes of people, or in the eyes of anybody that you interact with, is you have to be constantly playing the game of making sure that you look good at all time, making sure you're sharp, making sure that there are certain places you're not hard, making sure that there are certain things that you're not saying. And
Yeah.
this is extremely important because this is the exact techniques that they use to run the world, right? You cannot see a certain politician doing a certain thing or saying a certain thing, right? Because why? They have a narrative to uphold. So
They have a narrative to uphold.
I
They're
think
aware it's a narrative, and they go home and they don't, it's not continued there. But they are
Yes.
aware that out in public you have to say a certain thing, you have to look a certain way in order for these little brainwashed people to accept you as you are.
as you are.
Yeah,
And sometimes I find
as you
myself,
are.
let me just make this quick point because we might have to make a look at next switch again.
Yeah, man.
But sometimes
That
I
will-
realize I find myself almost looking down on regular people.
all the time, every day.
and
I
have
struggle
to-
with it actually.
I struggle with it, but I sometimes
Can't take them serious.
But you know what I do to comfort myself? I have to remind myself that these people are the people that feed you. These are the people, them bring the money
Consumers.
to you. Yes, so you have to you have to respect them. Alright, so make you happy
Respect
in the
them.
next clip now, Tony, and you give me your thoughts
Alright.
on that. Alright.
Yeah, man.
So give me your thoughts on the last thing we just did discuss a while ago.
Yeah, and can I
Yeah.
actually? I feel like I struggled with that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Just trying to have regular conversations with the consumer mind, and what I realize is when you start to propose solutions, anything that's even remotely real, they try to
Yeah.
hide away from it, shy away from it by making some kind of joke, or maybe they bring up something superficial to steer it away. Because if you try to dive into anything too real or bring up like a solution, it reminds them that what they live in isn't necessarily real and they can do something about it. For example, somebody said to me today, I was having a discussion with a group of people, which I regret shouldn't have engaged, but
Let me hear this one. Yeah.
so they were talking about, I was talking about world wars with them basically.
Yeah.
And I told them that I don't think it's fair that people get to sit in an office and send out people to die on their behalf. If somebody wants to start a world war, they should be put in a cage with the next person and they box it out. And then that can decide it if the next person wants to accept the fight, right? They should be leading the charge into war, not sitting behind some desk calling the shots, right? And when I said this, they looked at me and they laughed, right? And I said, I think it's just not fair. And they told me that's just how the world is, right? That's how the world is. I don't believe in that
Why
statement.
is it that they accept that?
I don't
Why
believe
is
in
it
that
that they
statement.
just accept that, bro?
That is
They just accept
unacceptable.
it.
It is
Oh my God,
disgusting.
why is
It
it
is
that-
weak.
Right?
It is deplorable.
Why is it?
There aren't words to describe my disgust. I left the conversation about 5 seconds after that because the last thing I told them before I walked off was this.
Yes.
This is acceptable, is wrong because the world comprises of you, people like you. So you decide what is acceptable. You decide what is real. So if you decide today and everybody decides that this is not how it's going to work, that is what will happen. Change will take effect immediately. But they just decided that's how the world is. And I was just utterly disgusted and I left seconds after explaining that. And I know it fell on deaf ears, but that was just me having it at the tip of my tongue and I had to get it out. and then I left. But I knew better not to engage more because I knew it wasn't going anywhere. They'd probably just make some silly
My
joke or
friend,
something and brush it off.
and Antonio, let me tell you this, my friend. You are like a violent, wait a second. You are like
Playing to deaf ears.
a pro singer, a pro musician, my friend, playing in a subway in New York when you should be at Madison Square Garden. You understand? So what me I go for say is,
Wrong
you
audience,
see,
man.
as you say, wrong audience. Them now go ever understand. You see the facts of them say, oh, I understand your frustration to that, my friend. And I see that same principle with everybody, brother. The whole weak-minded thing. You see me? I say nobody wants to stand up for nothing. Oh, that's just how the world is.
We can change the
Well,
world.
that's just
We
how
are the
works.
world.
Are the world, bro. My them people in the supreme to win.
Yo,
friend.
people done say
You understand?
fucking a man. Bumbo
Me I
blood
tell you, my G.
clot.
Them, but Tony, me I tell you, say, because them divide us, bro. And them divide us on the mental plane, bro. You see, if you did divide people on the physical plane, but it's still connected mentally, would have still revolt. You see, but they disconnected us on the mental plane, bro. You understand? The weakness has been programmed into us, my friend. To say, hey, them rule and we is nothing.
Yep.
You understand? And the people will never, bro. It's come like, Tony, I'm gonna tell you this straight, bro. It's sad to say, but this it can't go on forever, right? But the only way it can end it, everything in a human nature, Tony, any type of dynamic shift, any type of power shift, we're going to the world, Tony. What has to happen for that power shift to happen, Tony?
One
Or
side
what does
have
it
to
happen
fall.
through?
One side have to fall. War.
What, no. War. Conflict.
War.
Everything always boils down to conflict, bro. Let me show you a pre, right? If you got a speeding ticket and you don't pay, the police show up at your house. You tell the police, say, oh, I'm not going to pay. What is going to happen to you? When words no longer have effect, what is going to happen? They might go arrest you. If you resist arrest, what will happen? They might go beat you. And if you retaliate, they're going to kill you.
Right.
So, everything boils down to violence, my friend.
We revert
You
to our
understand?
true natures.
It go from paper to words to physical violence. You understand? But what people don't understand is that, right? It's too late right now for all of us, if you really think about it. With people and we can stand up, everybody can come together and say them voice now, you know. But it's too late. The war have to happen and the world, and millions of us have to dead for change make.
Technology is already here.
Because it's too late, because what happened is we spend too long being too weak and submissive to these people that they now have the arsenal to stand against us. So let's imagine a small group of people, right? Consists of say like 10,000 people, a small group of 10,000 people.
Right.
You have worked, your generations have worked to make sure that they now possess the arsenal. That if the 7 billion people try to stand against them, they wipe them out, and a new generation start from the 10,000 people.
But so I have high hopes for that 10,000 people, because very likely they're on the. All right, watch this now. Today I pose a hypothetical scenario, right? And I think same people, they couldn't answer it properly. So I said to them, what if you were to completely separate the smartest people in the world and the dumbest people, right? Remember, the dumbest don't necessarily mean biggest and strongest. Size, it doesn't discriminate. So remember, smartest people over here, completely. All the smart people and all the dunce people over here. And you pit them against each other. Who is going to win? The smartest people, obviously, brother. Weapons, if you look at the caveman time, two people, they're probably fighting with their fists, right? Somebody got the smart idea, take a piece of a club, piece of board, a weaponry now, right? He will win. And then maybe when the wood doesn't work anymore, they discovered metal, then they made swords, then they made guns, then they made rockets. The man with the greatest technology will always win. So what happens is the winning side is going to be, naturally it's going to advance faster, right? And hopefully they become more intelligent and they're able to sit through all of this garbage, all the narratives. Likely so, it will be torn down by then. But I feel like that's just going into like the robot era now, where people just kind of give over themselves, their consciousnesses, make it digitized and just become kind of like a hive mind. But that's a whole different conversation, brother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But man, we're gonna wrap up right here, so
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah, man.
But it's really crazy to watch what the world has become, and I'm so happy that we wake up and see
Yeah.
really and truly what is going on, and I hope that more people wake up to reality
Mhm.
of what is going on in the world right now and be conscious of what is going on and aware,
Right.
because very soon, my friend, and not even very soon, it is already happening. The people who are unaware of what is going on
Mhm.
are suffering.
Yeah, man.
They are
That's why them
suffering,
so
bro. Let me
sad,
tell you
dog.
this straight. That's why them so sad, bro. Them are suffer, bro. They're going to the jobs and the jobs not paying and everything is getting more and more expensive.
Mhm.
And the small families right now that have kids,
Mhm.
what is going to happen is their lives are going to get extremely hard year after year, because inflation, prices, everything go up 1 year. The people them get older, them need more maintenance, and the jobs still pay the same
Yep.
money.
Yep.
Them a drive them into the ground, my friend,
Yep.
and that is what is happening right now. But
Liberalism,
Tony,
neoliberalism, brother, ever
eh?
present.
Me I tell you,
Eh?
yep. But Tony, hey, listen, I'm glad say we could sit down and
Yes,
have a
bro.
little
Every
conversation
time.
about this, my friend.
Mhm.
And you don't know, say, next week again. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Late Night Talks with Khani Campbell and Tonio Ferreria.
Yeah, man.
And we're signing out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bless up everybody. Peace and respect. Stay woke in these streets.
Big up on yourself.
Bless.
Take care.
That is it.